So my line text is not working, so I'll be using Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so what do we have to start with? We'll start with functional programming. Okay, so in functional programming, we'll study about Lambda. Okay, which is also known as anonymous function. And then later on, we'll see the different applications or use of Lambda. So right now, how do we declare a function? Function name, certain parameters, then the return statement. Correct? Using Lambda, you can write the same thing in one line. Some variable is equal to Lambda, the parameters, okay, it could be any variable name, colon, the return statement. Okay. Now, in order to call this function, you will have to say print variable and pass the values. Let's say 3 and 4. So A gets the value 3, B gets the value 4. Okay. Lambda, parameters, colon, the return statement. How to call this? Like this.
What is the use of Lambda?
It is used to create a function, but it's anonymous function. We don't have a name for this. Okay. Now, if I have to write multiple lines, then how do I do this? Let's say if else I have to write using Lambda. Again, the parameters. Then A if A greater than B, else B. So this means return A if A is greater than B, or whatever condition you want, you can put here. Else return B. Okay. So since here in the values that I'm passing, A is greater than B, it returns A. Suppose B is greater than A, then it returns B. Is this clear? Hello? Hello? Hello, Kupusami, is it clear?
Hello?
Yeah, hello, is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. At any point of time, if you face that you're not understanding anything, please let me know.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Now let's see how to and where do we actually use this lambda. Okay, the first function is filter. Suppose I have a list. Okay, mixture of positive and negative numbers, and I ask you to create a function which will give me a list of only the positive numbers. So what will you do? You will create a function which takes a parameter. Then you will have an empty list outside. You will start a for loop and you will check for each value if it's greater than 0. If it's greater than 0, append it to B and then finally return B. At least 6 lines of code, right? The same thing can be done in one line using this filter function.
Okay.
Since I want a list, I will explicitly have to say that return a list. Then it's a function. Okay. Now this function takes two arguments. The first argument is the function itself, and the second argument is the data structure, which is in this case a list. Okay. So for the function itself, I pass lambda. So basically, this is the function, and this is the data structure. These are the two arguments that we pass to filter. Here. Now, what is happening here is this x, okay, because of this filter function, this x is just a variable, you can use any variable. This x will take each value of this a one by one and it will check whether this condition is true. If this condition is true, the value remains in the list, otherwise it is filtered out or removed. Okay, so just only thing to remember here is this, that here x takes each value of this list one by one and compares it with this condition. Okay. Done?
Yeah.
Okay.
This lambda is a inbuilt function.
I'm sorry?
This lambda is an inbuilt function or like a user
Yeah.
function? Like non-inbuilt?
It's inbuilt.
Yeah, filter is inbuilt, I got it, but this lambda,
Lambda what?
yeah, is this inbuilt function like a user, we define this one or it is you already inbuilt?
No. Lambda is a keyword. Okay, it's an anonymous function. Okay. The next function is map. Again, let's say we have list. And now if I ask you to, so remember, filter is used when you, on a particular condition, you have to filter out elements. Okay. Now here for map, if I ask you to write a function which takes this list and then returns a new list with the square of each element as its own element. Okay, so the new list that your function will prepare will be 1 square, 2 square, minus 2 square, something like that. Okay? So in situations like this, what will you do? Again a for loop, again a empty list. You will multiply or perform arithmetic operation on each value of I and then append it to B. 5 lines of code. With map, you can do it in one single line. Print. Again, since I want a list, so I'll say list map. Now map also takes two arguments. First one is the function, second one is your data structure.
Okay.
So lambda x to the power 2 k. So here also x will take each value one by one. perform this operation and store it in a list, a new object is created.
Map is basically used to create a new system.
No. See, here also a new list is only getting created. Okay. But here in filter, based on a particular condition, you decide which elements will stay and which element will be removed. With map, you perform operations on all the elements. So here it's a condition. Here with map, it's an operation. Okay, remember that. With filter, it's a condition. With map, it's a operation on all the elements. Okay. The last one is reduce. Now till Python 2.7, I mean before 3, reduce was an inbuilt function. Now reduce has been moved to a new module. Okay, so in order to use it, we'll have to import that module first. The module name is functools. Okay. So basically here, if I ask you to write a function to, first of all, what is reduce? As the name suggests, it will reduce your data structure into one single value. Okay, so you can use this whenever you have to, let's say, find the sum of all the numbers present inside a list, find a product of all the numbers, find the average of all the numbers, something which you have to perform on all the operations and finally get one output of it. Okay, there we can use reduce. So let's say, I want to find the sum of all the elements present inside this list. Again, a function and a for loop, keep a variable called sum, keep on adding. Okay. Instead of that, we say print. Now here I'll not say list of because it's going to return me one single value. Let's say functools dot reduce. Okay. Lambda. Here I need two arguments. Okay. Now what happens here is x takes the first value, y takes the second value, it adds them. So 1 plus 2, 3. That is stored in one of the variables, and the second variable takes the third value from the list. And again, the sum is stored in one variable, and the other variable takes the element from the list. It keeps on adding each element, and finally you get one output of it, which is the sum of all the numbers.
On this filter map reduce, we should use only with lambda. So it is increase with lambda.
These are the functions which uses lambda as its application. Okay, so I'll repeat again. Filter is used when you have to filter out elements based on a condition. Map is used when you have to perform operation on all the values of a data structure. And then reduce is used And you have to perform operation on all the values and get one final output out of it. Okay. The disadvantage of functional programming in Python is that it is okay for functions which has one single operation to perform. For multiple operations, if a function has multiple rows, multiple lines of code, it gets difficult. Any confusion, please let me know. Any confusion with functional programming?
No.
Okay. Clear, right? Now let's see something very interesting called web crawlers. Okay. So web crawlers are used to scrap data from any website. Okay. So I am going to demonstrate this with an example. So let's say I want to scrap all the links present in Zclab's website. Okay. So for this, there are a few things that you have to install first. So go to your terminal, okay, and write pip install request. Yeah, sure. Do it along with me. Pip install request. Install.
Downloading.
Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, it's going on.
Okay. Let me know when you have finished the installation.
Yeah.
Hello. Is the installation done?
Yes, then.
Hello.
Yeah, it is done.
Done?
Now done.
Okay. So after this, install another package called Beautiful Soup 4. Be careful about the spelling. Once you have installed, I'm going to write it here also. For a request, hit install Beautiful Soup. Now, once you have installed these, import them. Import request and from VS4.
Selena, actually this file open. Could not find any downloads that satisfy the requirement.
I'm sorry.
Like, I'm getting an error. Could not find any downloads that satisfy the requirement. Beautiful soup.
Make sure your spelling is correct. So this is what you have to write. Pip install
Install.
PEAUTIFULSOUP 4.
Yeah, that's what I have written. Actually, initially it was downloading, then I got this message. Could not find any.
Okay, can you share your screen once?
Yeah.
Beautiful soap or beautiful soap?
Two to four. No, that is different. Yeah, please share your screen.
Yeah, I will see.
See, the spelling is wrong. BEAUTI. Yeah.
That's all right.
Now we have imported request, and from this module, so when you install Beautiful Soup 4, it gets installed as BS4. From that module, we are importing this function called Beautiful Soup. Okay. Now I will create a string. You can give any variable name. This is just a variable, and I will give the URL of whichever website you want. Now we understand that this is URL, but for now, for Python, it's just a string, right? It's just a string. So what we'll do is we'll create another variable, and this request module has a function get. We pass this URL. Okay. So are you aware of get, post?
Yeah.
We are sending some request, okay, passing on this string, which will get function will consider that to be the URL, okay, and then you will receive a response if this URL is correct, okay, if we are able to connect to that URL. So if I print A, okay, it will be a response message. You can see response 200, 200 stands for success. Okay. Now I have a response that I can easily connect to that URL. Okay. Now I'll create another variable and I'll say a.text. What will this do? This will gather all the HTML content, okay, of that URL, of that website, and store it in the text format. not as HTML but as text format. So the entire content of the website will be saved in B in the text format.
Response 200 is what?
Success message. Okay, now I have all the information about the website, but it's in text. So I'll create another variable. Let's say let's call it result. And I'll pass this text to this beautiful soup. Now what this beautiful soup function does is, this is what helps us to scrap data. So this will convert your text to the normal HTML. Okay, because we can only extract data from direct HTML. So this will convert it to HTML, and now okay, this is just a warning. You can ignore it. It's not an error. It's just a warning that it gives. Okay. So write it down till here. Written. Now, so all the HTML content is right now in my variable called result. Now, are you aware of HTML a little bit? So in HTML, whenever we have to add a link, because we were writing this web crawler so that we can get all the links, right? So whenever we write a link, it's an A tag, correct? And inside href is the link, correct? Fine. So I will start a for loop in that variable called result, where the entire HTML content is. Dot, there is a function called find all. Within bracket, A. What is this A? A is the tag. So since my link is present in A tag, I'm writing A here. Suppose I want link of images, I'll write img. I want paragraph, I'll write P. I want headings, I'll write H1. These are different HTML tags. Right now, I want link. Link is present in A tag. Print. Now, A tag can have multiple attributes, multiple properties. I just want href because that is where I store link in HTML. So I'll say get href. Okay. As soon as I execute this, you can see I got the list of all the links present on CClass website. Okay. Now, if I want, I can save it in a variable and then write onto a file also using file operations. Correct? I can do whatever I want to do with this data now. And you can do this for any website. This is web crawling.
Yeah, we have only read option, right? We can't change anything.
No, you can't change anything. You can crawl through different websites and gather information, but you cannot change any of the website content. Is this clear?
Actually, I tried the same thing, but it's not working in Sublime.
Yeah, in Sublime it might throw an error. Sublime has some limitations.
Oh, okay.
You can try it out in your terminal. It will work there.
Oh, what is it?
In your terminal, or else you have saved the file, right? Open your terminal and run the file.
Oh, okay.
Let me just repeat the steps. Yeah, sometimes it does. Sometimes there is a cache created and then it doesn't. So see, first install request, then install Beautiful Soup 4, then import request, and from VS4 module import Beautiful Soup function. Create a variable with the URL Okay, or if you want to skip this step, you can, and you can directly pass the string or the URL over here in the get function. Okay, so this will connect you to the website through the URL and return a response saying that has the connection is done. Now, from that website, you get all the content in the text format and save it in variable B. Now it's in text format, but you want HTML, so you pass it to a function called beautiful soup, which returns all the HTML content and stores in this variable. Now start a for loop, and in that variable find all the whichever tag you need. In case of link, we need a tag, so look for all the a tags present in the HTML file. And then from the a tag, get only the href property, because that is what stores your link. Okay, this is all you have to do to crawl through any website. Okay, as an assignment, you can try some other website for the images. Okay, for image, this tag is going to be img, and here you write src. The rest everything will be same, just that you can give any other URL.
Import name beautiful soup.
No, from VS4 you have to import beautiful soup function, capital B, capital C. See here. Any confusion with web crawlers?
So if they are taking images, it will be stored in our
Import failure.
Since what you write in SRC, you write the link, right?
only the image name will
So name or link of that image you will get. This is not downloading the image.
Well,
Yeah.
for me, cannot import name beautiful soup is command.
Okay. Can you share your screen? No. You don't have to import beautiful soup 4. From BS4 import beautiful soup. The function name is beautiful soup. There is no 4. Yeah. Yeah, it has imported.
Okay, I will try.
This is what you have to write. Just 5 lines of code. Very simple. There's nothing beyond just that you should know for web crawlers. Done?
Yeah.
You got the output?
Yeah. Good.
Okay. So this is Webcrawlers. As I said, as an assignment, try with different websites for different properties. Okay, sometimes it's all the content, that means all the P tag. Now we are going to study about XML and JSON processing. I think Kupu, you have already done this.
No, it's not yet done.
XML and JSON.
For file, yeah, it is done, but for XML, it's not yet done. In advanced topic, we like only regular expression and the class is completely over, and the remaining is pending.
Okay, XML, JSON you have not done.
Yeah, not done.
Okay, and you had to leave by 1, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so in that case, we'll continue that tomorrow. We'll be able to finish it tomorrow. Since we'll also
yeah.
start early
Tomorrow,
tomorrow.
what time I can come?
I'm sorry?
Tomorrow, what time I can come to like a
Yeah.
very,
Tomorrow around 10 o'clock.
yeah, sure. Thank you.